What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for July 7th, 2025. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And I hope you guys had a great trading days. For those who took a trade, for those who didn't, congratulations, right? Again, a day where you're not trading is a great day. It's a great day every day on the charts, man. You always learn something. There's always something new to learn. So, gonna give everybody a few minutes to join, then we'll get started. The pairs we're going to be going over are the pairs that we see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD-USD, finishing off with US oil. We will be going in order from the top to the bottom. We'll talk about the trade that we took today, which was GCAD, and we also do have a question from Albert that I will answer the question in the stream, and I will also text it to him. But pretty much his question was, as someone who has intentions to trade both the London and New York session, how do I prepare for some trading pairs of interest, etc.? News, holidays, etc. Right? And let me go ahead and pause the music. I don't really like having too much things in the background. Right? To answer that question, it's a pretty simple way to answer the question, and I'll go ahead and I'm gonna post that question in the chat too, so people could go ahead and read it. Alright, so again, as someone who has intentions to trade both the London and New York session, how do I prepare for some trading pairs of interest, etc., news, holidays, right? So you prepare to trade the same way in every session, right? The same way you see me preparing for New York session is the same way you will see me prepare for London, is the same way you see me prepare for Asia, right? This isolation session is us getting prepared for Asia session, right? When I wake up in the morning, I wake up again at 5:30, 6 a.m. I look at the charts. I'm looking at my charts during the London session, getting ready for the NYC session, right? So it's the same way. Like, if you're on your chart at 2 a.m., boom, you decide, all right, I want to start trading London. I'm gonna trade from 2 in the morning all the way till 10:30 a.m., right? Which is pretty much London to New York. You just do the same thing, right? You know that there'll be sometimes you have to account for news, but it's the same thing during the NYC session. What do you know about news? Well, you shouldn't be in a trade 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after news. So if there's news, if it's a bank holiday, you treat it the same way. Like, a lot of people think that there's like a golden egg, like there's a golden answer to these questions, but it's pretty straightforward. Like, how do you prepare for London session? The same way you're gonna prepare for the NYC session. It's the same way you prepare for the Asia session. You wake up, you look at your charts. If STP or ADR is already hit by the time you get on your charts, then there's no more trades left, right? If STP and ADR hasn't been hit, okay, cool. Start looking for direction of the trend. Is price trending? Is price consolidating? Is price counter trending? Right? It's really the same way. There's no difference. Like, the same way that we get ready on the charts during the NYC session is the same way we would get ready for the London session. Is the same way that we get ready for the Asia session. There is no difference. So, Zoom was goody Kendall. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. But yeah, I hope that answered the question. I wish I could have given you a better answer. Like, I wish that there is a better answer, but there really isn't. Again, it's pretty straightforward, right? The same way that you prepare for the NYC session is the same way that you're gonna prepare for the London session. Is the same thing. You're looking for the same thing. There's no difference, right? There is no different language that you have to speak because you're trading the London session, so now you have to speak French. Like, no, it doesn't work that way, right? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. There is no difference. You're trading the same chart, right? If there's news, then you know that you have to wait for the news to hit. If it's a bank holiday, then you know that there's not going to be any volume in the market, right? If there's no news at all, okay, then you just got to look at price action. You have to look at market structure to see if price is going to go into a direction or if price is even going to give you volume. So again, there really is no other way to answer that question. My ear just started ringing. That's not good. But yeah, there really is no way to answer that. No other way to answer that question. That's a pretty straightforward question. Pretty straightforward answer to that question. Hmm. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is releasing a bacon flavor breakfast cereal tomorrow. What the fuck? But alright, guys, that was pretty much the only question that we had in the Discord. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Any other questions, just let me know in the chat, or let me know in the Discord, or let me know anywhere. For the people who are watching the recording, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Feel free to leave the questions in the comment section as well on YouTube. If you do have a question and you want to type it in the comment section, you definitely could. So let's get started. So AU, let me get comfortable here. Right, so AU daily time frame. Again, nothing has changed, right? We're in the same area. We already had 3 months of rise, still at a higher high, looking for a higher low. We're still making higher highs and higher lows on every time frame, right? So right now for AU, we could go ahead and really just skip this, right? We already know. I'm not gonna take too much time, right? If you guys want to go back and look at the details, same thing we've been talking about this pair from last week is the same thing that we're gonna be looking at for this week. We have the change of character. This does not mean that we're gonna start looking for price to go down. We had 3 days of drop, gave us another day, which was the start of the week, and we are now trading between this 30-minute low down here and that 30-minute high at the top. AUD CAD. Right, this is another pair that isn't a downtrend. We're in A1. We're still in the first zone of consolidation. We're still trapped in this little area on the daily time frame, which we could see it a little bit more better, a little better on the 4-hour. Right, we have no continuations here for now. And then on the 30-minute time frame, very similar to AU, but we did have a change of character. We do have a break of structure. Right, we're trading between these 30-minute lows down here and these 30-minute highs up here. We have another day of drop. But again, at this moment for AUD CAD, I am not going to be looking to take any trades in this area. Gonna wait it out, and we'll see what happens. Euro AUD, we are still in level 3 and an uptrend, looking for price to continue these pushes back up to the top side. Would love to see a valid break of these highs. We are still giving inducements of these highs on the daily time frame, right? On the 4-hour time frame, we're also just giving the inducements of the highs. So still want to see a valid break before I could look for a continuation. This still has a gap, or I'm not a gap, a daily engulfing candle. So let's say price decides to give us a valid break, right? Once we get the break, I would love to get a retest. Once we get this retest, this is where I'll look to get into a trade to continue back up to the top side. Ideally, this is the type of move I would like to see on Euro AUD. Now the question is that going to happen? Well, at this moment, we have 2 days of rise. Could we be looking for a third day 372 back up to the top side? Could definitely happen. Right? Definitely could happen. So we're going to go ahead and just mark this up. 372. Right? And Euro AUD is going to be our first pair on our watch list for tomorrow. Let me go ahead and create a watch list real quick. Okay. So Euro AUD is the first pair on our watch list. Euro CAD, we are still in an uptrend. We are still in level 3. Right? We're still continuing up to the top side. We had a valid break. We're at a higher high, looking for a higher low to be set. Right? Now, are we going to get a steep pullback, or are we just going to get the little zone of consolidation to then continue? That's what we're currently waiting for to see what price wants to do. Right? My confirmation that price was going to continue to go short would have been if price would have given us a break of these lows down here to then continue. But price gave us the inducement, came back up. We ended up the day on a no net. We just moved sideways today. So no continuations, right? This is still a pair. Again, we are still trading on the 30-minute time frame. Price had just given us a change of character, lower low. So we want to be careful taking these trades. Gonna wait it out and see what price wants to do. Alright, so EuroCAD for me is just taking a step back. Not really looking to take any trades on EuroCAD. Right, we don't have to update the 30-minute lows or highs. No, we're good. Euro USD. We're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, tapped our 30-minute lows, gave us a day of drop. This is a pair again that we are trading at a higher high. We're still in an uptrend. We have 2 weeks of rise. Let's go ahead and update that. I think this was a pair that we had to keep an eye on. Right, 2 weeks of rise. Could we look for a third week? That third week could definitely be given. Back up to the top side. Gonna keep an eye on Euro USD. Not expecting really. I'm really not expecting price to continue, but we'll see. We'll see what price wants to do at these lows. That'll give us the confirmation, so we'll be patient with that. GA gave us a change of character back to the top side. Right, change of character. We're now trading between this low and this high. We had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. So at this moment for GA, I'm not really going to be trading it. Again, this is an area where we're just in a zone of consolidation. Just moving sideways. I'm not going to mess with it. Once we get the breakout, once we get a retest, I'll start looking to take trades again. GCAD. So let's break this down from the top to the bottom, right? So this is the trade, or this is the pair that we took the trade on, right? So daily time frame, we know that we are in an overall uptrend. We're in level 3. We're on the third push, looking for price to reach our previous peak high. So we know we still have a long way to go back up to the top side, right? But let's just focus on structure, right? So pretty much same thing that we talked about during our weekly market breakdown on Sunday, right? What are we looking at? Right now we know that we're trading higher high, right? This pullback here, and we were looking to see if price was going to give us a valid break of these highs. Did we get a valid break? No. These were just inducement candles. These were testing. We did not get a valid break. So on Sunday, we had explained that this pullback to the 50 EMA, which is where we want to see price bounce off of, right? In level 3, we want to see price bounce off to 50. We understood that this was a low probability area just based off the fact that we do not have a valid break. So we cannot say that this is higher high and this is higher low to continue back up to that higher high to give us that third month push to the top side, right? With that being said, let's just go down to the lower time frame, right? Because now the question, well, if it's low probability, why did you take the trade? Well, remember, we're looking to only catch a piece of the puzzle. As long as we could catch a little piece, that's okay. Following structure, understanding the reason why we got into the trade, right? So on the 4 hour, what do we know about structure? Well, on the 4 hour, we got the same thing, higher high, higher low, but price did give us a valid higher high break of structure. Price came down, gave us a pullback. Once we got this pullback on the lower time frame, which was the 5 minute, what did we get on the pullback? We got the change of character, we got the break of structure, right? So all I was catching, all I was interested in catching was just the move for the day, was just another pullback. That's it. Once we got the break, we also had a 15-minute engulfing candle. Right after we got the break, right, boom, we got the break. It gave us the pullback, 15-minute engulfing candle. Boom, that's the entry, stop loss, TP at the STP for the day at 83 pips. That's it. It's that simple. Now, again, what's my confirmation that price is going to continue this uptrend push? I need to see price break above the 4 hour time. I need to see price on the 4 hour time frame close above the 50 EMA. If we could get these candles to close above, instead of giving us these exhaustion candles, then we know we're going to see something like this. If not, we're just going to continue to see these exhaustion candles, and this is where we'll see price continue that downtrend push. So this is what I'm waiting for on the 4 hour time frame, right? To see if price wants to continue. If it wants to continue, then we'll get that break. We'll catch another trade. You know, we still have another 156 pips back to the top side. I'm okay with catching piece by piece by piece. I don't need to catch the whole thing all at once. Right, so we'll wait for the confirmation again. Once we get a solid confirmation that price is going to continue back up to the top side, then we'll take the trade. If not, then that's okay. I have no need to rush into these trades, right? Just wait for the solid confirmations. Once we get the confirmations, then we take the trade. Right, so GCAD is just a waiting game for me at this point. GJ on the daily time frame, again, this is a pair that for me personally, I'm not really interested in trading it. We're still stuck in the zone of consolidation, just moving sideways. But we do see that price is making higher highs and higher lows, right? So on one hand, this pair looks good, but then on the other hand, it's not looking that good, right? It looks good because we have a change of character, we have the break of structure. Could we expect price to give us a retest to continue? Yeah, absolutely. But again, where are we? When it comes to structure, again, why the same examples we've been giving for the last couple weeks? Why would I look to take a trade in an area where we already seen price reject twice before? Right? Why would I look for sells in an area where price had already given us confirmations that price doesn't want to go lower than this? This is the same thing in the highs. So it's like, why am I going to be looking for buy positions in an area where I know we've been trapped before multiple times, right? Wouldn't it be easier and better if we just wait for the breaks? Absolutely. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for on GJ. I'm in no rush to be faked out. I'm in no rush for my stop loss to be hit. I'm in no rush, man. Once I get a confirmation, once I get the solid confirmation, the 100% confirmation that we're going to start moving, then I'll take the trade, right? That's the good thing about not being married to one singular pair, right? Is I could look for another entry on another pair that looks 100 times better than whatever's going on right now on this one, right? So we'll wait it out. GU still moving counter trend, still against the overall trend, but that's okay. We'll be looking for a pullback very similar to EU. We're trading at a higher high. Let me go ahead and delete some of these drawings, guys. I was doing a few one-on-one sessions today. Alright, so we're trading at a higher high. No continuations. We're pretty much looking for a pullback to be made. We had rise, 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 drop. Then we had a weaker rise. This is not. This is supposed to just be a drop. Still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Yeah, GU, I'm still not gonna trade it. Gonna wait this one out just a little bit longer. We'll see what price wants to do in this area. This is gonna be a trade for like Wednesday, Thursday, or possibly even Thursday going into Friday. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't have anything on GU. NZD USD still making lower lows and lower highs. This is a pair also in an overall downtrend. We'll keep an eye on NZD USD. For me, NZD USD is one of the best ones to keep an eye on. We already filled that gap that we were looking for in the second zone of consolidation. We're looking for that third push back down to the bottom. Price did go below our 200 EMA on the 4 hour, which is good. Still waiting for an extra confirmation to close below. Right now we have exhaustion candle at the lows, so we'll see. What looks good is the change of character. We have the break of structure. Could we potentially be looking for a pullback? Most definitely, right? And when we're looking for gaps in the market, we had a day of drop. We had 2 days of drop. We had 3 days of drop. Now there's no gaps in the market here, so we'll see. We'll see what NZD USD. I'm not gonna put this one on my watch list for now. Right, US 30 gave us exactly what we said yesterday, right? We wanted to see a type 1 pattern, gave us a type 1 pattern going short, filled the gap up, gave us the inducement of the lows, making everybody believe that price is gonna go short. And it possibly could. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not going to. It definitely could. Right, we have a change of character. And we're now trading between that 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. You have no more gaps at the top, so again, my confirmation of US 30 continuing this downtrend push is going to be if we could get that break after the change of character. So again, this might be an entry for Wednesday going into Thursday, possibly Thursday going into Friday, to just look for continuations, right? And here on the 1 hour time frame, you see that price gave us an engulfing candle but is not valid. Not a valid engulfing candle because the red candle does not have a top wick. Right, so just gonna wait this one out. Again, this just looking at structure, this could possibly just give us like a little, just a small pullback, nothing too crazy. Potentially be looking for like a little 38.2 retracement somewhere in this area to then continue. So gonna keep an eye on US 30 for sure. USD CAD gave us another change of character. Right, are we finally starting this uptrend push once again back to the top side? Would be ideal. Right, and then price gave us the change of character. Right, that change of character gave us now this 30-minute high. So we'll be looking for a 30-minute break. We have 2 days of rise. We'll be looking for a 372. We did have this 30-minute and 1 hour engulfings here, but we can see that price open with a gap, so it's a very low probability setup here, but we'll still write this one down. 372 on USD CAD. What's good, Albert? It's all good, my brother. I answered your question in the chat. I answered it in the beginning of the stream, so if you want to go back and rewatch that. Um, but pretty much I could re-say it again. Like, the answer is really straightforward. Like, the same way that we look at our charts now and we get our charts ready, we're pretty much getting our charts ready during the Asia session, right? So what am I doing? I'm just updating my charts. What are the moves that are happening? But just to answer yours, right? So I had long answer short. Like, there's no difference, right? Let's say you wake up Asia session 2 a.m. You look at your chart. What's the first thing you look at? If price is trending, is it consolidating? Is it moving counter trend, or is it moving with the overall trend? Did price already hit ADR? Did price already hit STP? Right? You're looking for the same thing. If there's news, what are you gonna do? Same thing that we do during the NYC session. There's no difference. If there's news at 2:30, 3 a.m., you already know, okay, I need to wait 15 minutes before I take a trade, 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after news. Okay, cool. If there's a bank holiday, what are you gonna do? Well, same shit we do all the time. If there's a bank holiday, if there's you trade London session, there's GBP news. There's most likely going to be GBP news during London session, and that's usually the old and AUD, right? If it's a bank holiday for GBP, then what? What do you think is going to happen? Like, there is no other answers. It's the same answers across the board. That's been the same answers for the last 8 years. If there's news, if there's a bank holiday, then you know that there's not going to be no volume in the market for that pair, right? If you're trading GBP during London session and there's a GBP bank holiday, what do you think is going to happen? You think price is going to move a million pips, or you think price is going to just not give you any volume? So the answer really is just straightforward. There's no difference. Like, the way you would execute going into your charts would be the same way you would do it during the NYC session. Just instead of doing it at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you're doing it at 1:30, 2 a.m. But it's the exact same thing. Look for the setups, look for the moves, look for the confirmations. That's it. Again, the same rules that I look at during the NYC session is the same rules that I'm looking at during the Asia session. There's no difference. The same rules that I'm looking at on AUD USD is the same rules that I'm looking at GBP USD, is the same rules that I'm looking at US 30, is the same rules that I'm looking at Bitcoin, is the same rules that I'm looking for gold. There's no difference. It's all the same way. You get on the chart and you do the exact same thing you did the last time you were on the chart. It doesn't matter the time, it doesn't matter the pair. You're doing the exact same thing across the board. There's no difference. USD ZAR. Let's go ahead and update USD ZAR from the top to the bottom. Right, so let's finally update ZAR. So ZAR, we know that we're still trading between the same daily high and daily low. So nothing to update here on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we had high, low, then we had lower, low, change of character, boom, lower, high, then we have lower, low down here. And so we're trading lower, high on the 4-hour. Lower, low. 30-minute time frame, we had low, lower, high, lower, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, lower, lower, high, lower, low, higher, high. Lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, change of character. Nah, I don't even want. I want to say this is lower, low, lower, high, and all of this part of the same structure. Right, because we didn't really have a real break until here, but I'm not gonna say lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, and then higher, high, change of character. Huh. Alright, brother. I perfectly get it now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No. There's really no difference, man. It's all traded. It's all treated and traded the exact same way. If there's a bank holiday, then you already know. Stay away from taking a trade during that time. If there's high impact news, then you already know. 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after, no trades. You have to wait 15 minutes. Right? If there's no news, if it's just low impact news, then look at structure, look at market structure. Are your rules being applied on the charts? Take the trade. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's not too much to look at. I have a lot drawn out here. We'll talk about gold too. This one is very, very interesting. We still got those gaps in the market. This is a 1 minute gap. I'm gonna go ahead and delete some of these drawings here. I don't need all of this on my screen. We'll break this down, right? So pretty much what I'm looking at. Looking for a type 1 pattern. Extended type 1 pattern, I should say. Right? We're looking for a valid break. We never got the break. The break would have been down here. We got the inducement of the lows instead. Right? So because we got the inducements and no valid breaks, this is why we're looking for that type 1 pattern. Right? We ended up having a day of rise and then a day of no net. So no continuations. Right? And I am looking for price to fill this gap up at the top of the market. So the question just is, where is price going to give us a pullback? What are some things we could look at? Are there anything that price gave us here, engulfing candles, anything at all? So here on the 30-minute, right, what do we see? Boom, engulfing candle, perfect. Now, do I think this is where price is going to give us a pullback to? No. Why? Because we have a gap lower than this in the 1 minute time frame. Now, ideally, I would love to see price, on the 5 minute, let's do this as well. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price gave us a change of character, which happened here. Change of character to the top side. Right? And then price came higher high, higher low, gave us another higher high, higher low, higher high. Right? So at this moment, price is looking good. Right? Again, we know we have this gap at the bottom of the market. On top of the fact that we have this gap, we also know that this gap is connected to a 1 minute engulfing candle, but it did not give us a valid engulfing. No top wicks and bottom wicks for these candles here. But we do have that gap. So we'll see what price wants to do. I'm very interested in looking at gold and keeping an eye on gold in these areas. So we'll keep it on it. We'll see what price wants to do. I am expecting a type 1 pattern, so I will be looking for entries on gold to continue back up to the top side. Bitcoin I'm not trading. We're just going to go ahead and skip this. Bitcoin market doesn't close for another 30 minutes. And then US oil is another one that I am not trading really. Give me 1 second. XAU. I forgot to put that on the watch list. XAU USD. Looking for a bullish type 1 continuation. Alright, but that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions? Anything else you guys want me to talk about? Anything you guys want me to break down again? Anything you want me to explain? Let me know. If not, then that's pretty much it, guys. What we have on our watch list going into tomorrow, we pretty much just have Euro AUD for 372. We have USD CAD for 372, and then we have gold to follow up with that continuation, to continue that push to the top side. So gonna give you guys another minute in the chat. Any questions? Once again, going once, going twice. Any questions at all, let me know. Looks like you guys are good. Alright, I hope everyone has a good rest of their night. Good night, bro. Good night, Albert. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, guys, we'll be back here tomorrow morning for the live trading session, 6:30, 7 a.m. Eastern. Peace out.